It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Model citizens, welcome to Humanity Junction. Tonight on Trains and Tech, I have for you what I think is probably going to be the most boring stream I've ever done on this channel. I have basically gotten myself into such a hole that if I don't clean up this mess behind me, I can't get to anything. I can't get to my drawers. I can't get, like, things are piled up so high that I can't even get to the thing that's underneath the thing. So you saw it here previously. We're gonna do it again. I have to finish building this shelving unit. This shelving unit has been in the way for what has been 3 weeks now, 4 weeks now. It's been here so long. I don't even know how to talk about it, but I've got the one half done. I did spend some time doing this. So all of the holes have been countersunk. I got new screws in all the holes. I got my safety shoes on. So you know I'm ready to go when I get the safety shoes on. And I've learned about safety from some of the best out there. I mean, Dennis from Otter Creek and Rio Grande has taught me that with a pointer and safety shoes, you can make just about anything happen. So I got the overhead view going so you can kind of see the mess that is in front of me. But it's gotten so hard to do projects down here that I just don't even want to be down here right now, and things are they're just stacking up all over. So I think the only thing to do is to get to it. I am going to try, and I say try because I know I'm going to fail miserably, but I'm going to try to keep the camera pointed at something that's not the most least interesting thing ever. I don't even know what that means, the most least interesting thing, but we'll see how it goes. I did set up I did set up a tablet down here by me so I can keep an eye on the chat. So if all you're seeing is my backside, which seemed to be what we saw the last time I was working on this project, just give a shout and I'll try and figure things out. I did get the one and only project I've done is I've got this proto throttle together, and I gotta say, I love the blue back with the blue face. There's just something really awesome about it. I put the Arca Swiss plates on the back. It kind of gives you something to grab, but also it allows it to mount to the mount to my monopods so that they, you know, can kind of, you know, be held or whatnot. So yeah, and Ray, that I don't know which is my better side, my backside or my drawers, but I suspect tonight there's going to be a lot of both. So I guess the only thing to do is kind of jump into it. I did just see Ray's last question as I'm starting to move this out of the way. So Ray, to answer your question, how did I mount the Arca Swiss plates? The short answer is I used a material called glue. It's specifically, it's this glue right here, weld bond. I put a piece of tape onto the back of the throttle. In this case, I just used blue painter's tape. So it's not actually glued to the box, it's actually glued to a piece of tape. And then I put these on, and what I did is I took some blocks. I put the blocks inside the box, so I had something to clamp, and basically just clamped them to the back. And once they dried, they seem to hold. I haven't like dropped one on the floor yet to know like whether it's able to withstand a fall like that. So there is a chance that that could be the end of the unit if it falls. But so far, you know, we've been using them for a while like that, and they seem to be pretty good. So Cameron says, this doesn't look like cleaning. So part of the issue I'm having is that I can't even get to the cleaning part because I can't get to the drawers to put anything away. So I've got piles of stuff out and about that need to be cleaned and need to go back into their drawers, but I can't get to the drawers to put them away. So it's kind of the way it is as well. Why 2? Okay, so the reason I put 2 on there, and that's a very good question, it's a little bit twofold, and I'm going to answer your question after I put this screw in. So on, I got to get an example. So on my other proto throttles, I got a really long plate. So this long plate goes all the way from top to bottom, and it kind of allows me when I'm clamping it to the stand, it allows me to kind of like adjust it back and forth on the stand. I think it works better a little bit lower because it means that when you're kind of pushing on the throttle, you're pushing into the center of the stand, whereas if you mount it up real high, you're kind of pushing over the top. So I think, you know, having the longer just allows it to clamp anywhere. So the reason I put 2 on here is 1, because when you buy them on Amazon, they come in a 2-pack. So that's kind of why. But also it then just gives me a little bit more of that adjustability up and down. My OCD kind of hates what happened here. They're not perfectly square on the back, so that drives me crazy. but we're gonna kind of hopefully try and move past that. I don't know if you can see the weights I'm using on the bottom of my model pods are just ankle weights. The other thing I started using on the bottom, if you don't know, here's the whole setup, right? So the whole setup is you've got the proto throttle connected to the monopod, and then on the bottom of the monopod on these, I just have some, just some regular weights. I think it's like 2.5 pounds or something like that. So yeah. Lynn wants to know, Cameron, have you ever tried to pull a throttle? I found some good weights for my monopod baseball bat weights. Yes, those would work well. I think any weights that you have that you can kind of slide over it, I think are good options. If you don't know, the reason I've got the weights on the bottom is just to make the monopod a little bit bottom heavy, just to counteract the weight of the proto throttle slightly. Theoretically, the operator is paying attention and is not going to knock everything over, but I think we all know that reality happens and things happen, and that's it. And I am out of breath already, and I haven't done anything yet. All right, so here's the plan. The ones that were on here do not have countersunk holes. I think you can probably see that, maybe. The newer ones are going to have countersunk holes. So what I need to do is take off all the old ones and put on all the new ones. So I've got 2 prepped with countersunk holes. I'm going to put one at the bottom, one at the top. Then we'll take all the rest of them off. Then you'll watch me countersink everything and then put it all back together, and it'll be about the most boring and repetitive thing ever. So Ray, I thought about how could I put a 1/4-20 on the back. And I thought a couple options. One option is I can have the 1/4-20 standing off the back, but I didn't want the 1/4-20 sticking out the back, so I thought the best thing to do would be to use a 1/4-20 nutsert. The problem with the 1/4-20 nutsert is it would need to go into the case, right? So if this is the full depth of the case here, to get the nutsert in, it would need to go into the case. And this is a thinner case, right? So standard size case is this guy here, right? So you can kind of see the difference in the height of the cases. So if you're still using this case, you probably would have enough depth to get a nutsert in on the bottom. You get enough threads in there. But with the skinny case, I don't have enough space to get the nutsert in. And the other thing that I kind of discovered is I don't mind that this is on here permanently, because I actually find, for me, I think this actually gives you something really good to hold on to as well. Al says it's going to be a long night. When is it not? I ask you that. When is it not? The good thing is we are not messing around with any ESP32 cameras, so it should not be a 4.5-hour live stream. For those of you that were around during that period of electronic exploration that seemed to take more patience than any normal person would have. And that didn't go in very well, but we're going to leave that as it is. So as much as I tried using this template to keep everything lined up, it's still not perfect. It's still not perfect, but it's better. It's better than what it was with the. I won't be able to show you this. I mean, I could zoom into this, but you're not going to really be able to see. But it's better Is the camera like straight? Is it crooked? Am I crooked? It's kind of like I keep moving it and it keeps like just snapping back to center. Sorry, it was bothering me. It's better than it was, but we're still moving on. Oops. Don thought that this drawer thing was done already. Don, I wish it was. I wish I could tell you that I put in the time and I got the work done, but I didn't, and it's still not done, and there's still a bunch to do. So I'm I gotta figure it out. Cameron is always my savior, pointing out all of my issues and making sure I am well aware of all of my live stream faux pas. I'm kind of, I don't think I'm going to change that one because I think we'll keep it as as something for others to enjoy and experience. Ed says, I've got parts on the way to do the thin case modification. If it works out, I'll get the monopod plates and weights. Yeah, I really like the modification. William Sampson from the Sioux line is the one that came up with the modification, and I just think it's great. Just so that anybody knows, it does. So the reason why it is sold with the big case is because there is a radio transceiver inside of it, and in order to get the the FCC, whatever you need to get from them, they needed that size case to meet whatever. So technically you are violating FCC regulations if you make the case modification. So I don't know, I guess report me to the FCC. Maybe they'll take away my proto throttles, and we'll go from there. Cameron wants to know, you got these nice and square, right? I got these about as square as they need to be. I don't think they are. I don't think I'm gonna win any awards, but I don't know that I'm looking for winning any awards. But it's close enough. It's close enough for my style of woodworking. Yeah. Was that an FCC violation? The whatever they call that, boob gate? What was that called? I don't know. We all know that was planned. Come on, people. Anyone that believes that wasn't planned, I got a bridge to sell you. If you want, I got a really nice bridge to sell you. All right, so we got that done. Oh, that could be true. It could have been an FAA violation. There was definitely some low flying. I was cutting. I was what do you call that? I was countersinking some holes earlier, so there's like some metal shards all over the ground here. So I'm basically sitting in metal shards right now, and what I could do is I could vacuum them up, or we can just kind of keep going. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep going. I have this really cheap set of countersinks that I think I showed last time. The problem with this really cheap set of countersinks is even going into aluminum, it's just tearing them up. So Don says knee pads. If I didn't have so much stuff in the way, I can't even get this drawer open. There's so much stuff in the way. Actually, you know what? I think the knee pads are over here. Dremel liquid safety. Are they in the safety drawer? I don't even know where the knee pads are. I may have moved the knee pads into the other room. I do have I do have some soft, whatever this flooring is, so it's not too bad. An FRA violation? Could have been one of those too. Yeah, this I think is an OSHA. Why vacuum now when you'll need to do it later? That's kind of the way I look at it as well. So Wigwag wants to know what I'm building. For anybody that's late, I've got these boxes here. These boxes are from a company called Feldherr, Feldherr. I'm guessing it's a German company. I'm not completely sure. I am building a storage rack, which you can kind of see here. It's going to have all these little rungs on it that all of those will be able to slide into. I started this about 4 weeks ago. I never finished it because, I should be wearing safety glasses. Don't do this without safety glasses. If you get aluminum in your eyes, it is very difficult to get out. So how loud is that? Is that really loud? If you don't know, if you go to the hospital because you get metal in your eyes, if it's steel, they use a magnet and they pull out the steel with a magnet because steel is magnetic. If you get aluminum in your eye and go to the hospital, it's not magnetic, it's a non-ferrous metal, which means they get to use a scalpel to get it out. So yeah, make sure you wear your eye protection when working with aluminum, because you do not want I guess the good thing is if you do get aluminum in your eyes, you can still get an MRI. So where are your side shields? Yeah, I probably should get my side shields. What I could do too is, if we really want to be safe around these parts, this is actually my favorite tool when doing any sort of grinding type activity. But you don't want to flap it down in front of you, because if you flap it in front of you, you can't see as well. So you just put it on and you leave it up over your head. So you can say, yes, I am wearing eye protection while I do the work. So that right there is how the proper use of eye protection while working with aluminum, for anybody that didn't know. Now, we didn't go from FAA violations, we went from FCC violations. The FAA ones were kind of in the middle. See, Paul? That's what happens, man. If you, if you miss the beginning of the fun. So do I sound like I'm in like the bathroom or something when I've got this down in front of me? Yeah. I mean, yeah, Don. I mean, it's oh, come on. Yeah, it's no joke getting aluminum in your eye. Like, it is not, it does not come out easy. I mean, we've got all this high-tech, cornea replacements and laser whatever these days. So, I guess it's not as bad as it was years ago, but all right, so this is like cutting a steak with a butter knife right now. I've gotten 2 done. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more to go. So as I said, this is probably going to be one of the more exciting live streams I ever do on this channel. So if people have questions or want to tell me I've got something on my nose as Cameron did, or you know, if someone's got a question or something, I'm open to answering questions. I don't know. I wish these, you know what they say, right? I mean, you get what you pay for. In this case, I think that's true. I bought these cheap countersinks. I think this whole set was like $10. And I'm definitely paying the price because this is like just brutal. This set's going in the garbage when I'm done, but I just gotta get this, you know, put together. And yeah, Paul, I mean, that's it. Like, I couldn't even walk in this room, so I don't know how you guys were going to come in here. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason for this. You know, it's got to get done. You do not want to see me aluminum welding. I have tried it. I can burn a hole through aluminum. I wouldn't say that I could weld two pieces of aluminum together. The AC is going well. For those that don't know, I had a situation recently where the AC in this room went out over the weekend. I came back in to work on the Monday, and it was brutal. See, this guy's too big. It doesn't fit. Doesn't fit in there, so this one doesn't work as well. A lot of the issue is heat. Yeah. Yes, a drill bit would work. My problem, of course, is knowing me, I would end up pushing the drill bit all the way through it. There is no Harbor Freight that I'm aware of in Manhattan. We do have a Home Depot. Lowe's at one point tried to have a store in Manhattan. I think it lasted maybe a year, if that. So, you know, Home Depot is the only sort of huge company hardware store, but there are a lot of smaller, like really, really good hardware stores, like Manhattan Lumber over on 11th Avenue and whatever is like 48th Street is just absolutely fantastic. I am trying hard to get things organized so Paul's not going to be tripping over everything. Yeah, like this one is like, this one's going right in the trash. That one's just a goner. I don't even know what to. I might not even make it through all of these today. I may have to go like order more of these or something. I don't know. I guess good thing it's Amazon Prime Week, right? Speaking about Amazon Prime Week, sorry, I just saw what Ray said. Ray, I agree, man. I agree. That is absolutely the National Train Show in Amherst. So speaking about Amazon Prime, I've been wanting, or at least thinking about, putting a small fridge down here for a long time. Having a small fridge in here would allow me to have cold drinks down here for op sessions, but more importantly, like, I can leave, you know, like some fruit down here for snacks. So instead of eating a candy bar for a snack, you know, I could have fruit or something healthier. So I finally bit the bullet. They have this it was 18 liters. It can hold like 24 cans, so it's like a small fridge. A lot of people say it only lasts like a year, but, you know, yeah, so funny you say that. So what I'm doing is I bought a smaller vacuum, and I am going to replace my big wet vac dry vacuum with a much smaller, like a dustbuster size one. And then I will use the dustbuster size vacuum like on the regular, and I'll put the other vacuum in storage, and I'll replace the vacuum with a fridge. So yeah, Dave, the fridge that I'm getting is not like one of those good mini fridges that you got a decade ago. It's, you know, yeah. Ray's dropping some good ones today, folks. I do appreciate John Sacradoti's been a huge support of the Rocky Mountain Train show, and he's really been helping them grow over the last couple of years. But yeah, I mean, the Amherst show, the show that they put on is just so much farther ahead of any other show. It's really pretty wild. But, again, it's a small world. John's helping other people out. Other people are helping John, and we're, yeah, that John's just passing the knowledge around. I mean, he knows he doesn't have that many years left, so he's really trying to make it happen. Anyone know what time it is? I didn't see an answer when I asked. When I'm drilling, is it like really loud, or is it kind of bearable? I am getting so much metal everywhere. It's tool time. That's awesome. It's tool time. All right, 9:32. All right, so I get to bore everyone for another half hour. The good news is, I think probably that's all I'm going to need is another half hour to drill out at least one or two more of these. Oh, that's really cool. The sound cancels out on this. I'm kind of impressed. James says it's 8:32. I don't know where James is. I mean, I know where James is, but I don't know where James is in his head, because I know where James lives, and it's 9:32 where James lives, so. Unless James forgot to change his calendar after daylight savings time. So the noise canceling that I'm using, for anybody that's wondering, is it's just the noise canceling built into OBS. And it's really pretty incredible how well it works. All right, so if you don't know, the thing that kills drill bits, kills blades, kills all that stuff the fastest is heat. I can feel how hot both of these things are at this moment. I wish it wasn't overheating. I guess I could use this other one. We'll let this one cool for a little bit. This one was working pretty well, this size. The thing with these guys, the angle on them are the same. They're both probably like 135 or something. They're just meant for different hole sizes, so I don't think it really matters necessarily which one I'm using. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't really have any water in here. Or I could use, yeah, I could quench them in oil in my oil quench that I keep in my train room on the regular for these types of scenarios. So yeah, I guess I could definitely get the oil quench out. I've got this AC going too, and I'm hot. I'm actually hot. I do have some WD-40. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, I could use cutting oil to actually drill these out. Then I would have oil on everything and need to clean off the oil. But yes, the proper way to do this, would be to, yes, lubricate the bit. And yeah, bar soap would work. I need a drill press. John, didn't we just have a whole conversation about me not having enough room for a fridge? Where in the world am I going to put a drill press when I don't even have enough room for a fridge? So yes, I know it's the proper thing to do. Just use a little bit. I'm going to throw these bits away. Yeah, there are Harbor Freights. There's actually, I'm a member of the Model Railroad Club in Union, New Jersey. There's actually a Harbor Freight and a Home Depot right next to the Model Railroad Club in Union. So when I go down there, I will sometimes go and hit up the Harbor Freight. Although I gotta admit, every time I go to Harbor Freight, I know some people love Harbor Freight, but I don't know. I'm not. I'm not as blown away by it as I think I probably should be. I guess part of what it is Harbor Freight's quality has come up over the last couple of years, and Home Depot has a line that has come down over the years. So, the nicer tools of Harbor Freight are now the same as the cheaper tools at Home Depot. And, as a hobbyist, I don't need like the really, really nice tools, but I do feel like the kind of the middle, that middle, cheap Home Depot, expensive Harbor Freight is a good area for me to buy stuff in, and that's kind of where I mostly end up shopping. Yeah, I do have 11-foot ceilings. Theoretically, I could put a whatchamacallit, like a second floor in here, but what fun would that be? All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I've got a couple more of these. I am going to install the ones that I've done, which will give things time to cool off a little bit. I still got to countersink these 4, so hopefully I'll have enough time to do that, but it'll kind of be a little bit of a break in the action, right? So we're going to get this guy back down here, and we are going to grind some of the metal shards into the ground, because that's what we do around here. And of course, being aluminum, once they're ground in, they ain't coming up. But, it is what it is. So I'm just getting these kind of roughed in where they need to go. Most of these already have holes set up, so I'm just going to go right back into the same thing, into the same spots. Yeah, that's a good point about Harbor Freight too, is you can buy something and break it and then return it, which a lot of people do. A lot of people do. If I had a Harbor Freight closer to me, and that was more of an option for me, I would probably get more Harbor Freight stuff. But being as the close option for me is Home Depot, it just makes it, if I buy something at Home Depot, it just means I can return it at Home Depot. And as you guys can see, I am using a Ryobi, whatever you call this thing, drill driver thing. Ryobi is the battery system that I am a part of. So being a part of that battery system, you know, that's a Home Depot thing. So, uh-oh. It is what it is. Yeah, I think Ryobi is, I think, a really good kind of level of tools. You know, again, like I was talking about earlier, like, you know, I'm not sure that I would bring these onto a job site where I needed to use them 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. But, you know, for what I do here, they are fantastic, and they've always done me well. Yeah, I just travel down via subway. The Home Depot is on 23rd Street. It's in the same area where the Blick is. Blick is a art store, and I'll go down there and get some paints and stuff. There is a container store, so a bunch of the storage that's in here comes down from that area. So yeah, I just take the subway down to 23rd Street. It's actually an area of the city I really enjoy, and I get what I need and bring it on back. Yeah, exactly. You know, Ray, if I was a pro, I'd probably be somewhere, you know, buying some red tools. But you know, I'm not. And being able to buy, you know, two of these versus one, you know, whatever, it's kind of thing. Bob, no, not near Chinatown. 23rd Street is basically like the fashion district. Chinatown is much farther downtown as well. Nothing wrong. Not that one. This one. Nothing wrong with what you have. I'm gonna frame that and save that. To you, take a wheelbarrow with you and bring your stuff. Do I take a wheelbarrow with me to bring my stuff home? I do not take a wheelbarrow with me. In New York City, we have something called delivery, and in a lot of cases, you can get free same-day delivery, and you know that generally works out pretty well for me. Or you know, if I can carry it, I just carry it. Yeah, Canal Street isn't. I know what you're talking about, Bob. Canal Street used to be a fantastic place to go. There's still a lighting store down on Canal Street that's fantastic, but the Canal Street of the day that you're talking about, it's not the same anymore. It's a very, very different Canal Street now. But yeah, the days of just sort of walking into those big stores with bins of, you know, anything you could ever need, it's just, unfortunately, you know, that's not there anymore. It's kind of like how you can't go into a Radio Shack anymore, right? I wish I could go into a Radio Shack. Speaking of shopping, I'm declaring that Spring Creek model trains is the B&H on model railroading. I would probably agree with that. They have done, Spring Creek has done a good job of, yeah, they've been doing a good job. That is very true. They're in Deschler, Nebraska, I believe it's called. So they have the space to, you know, to store a lot of stuff. And I think that makes, you know, that's a good opportunity for them. All right, so after I do this one, we are going to go back and countersink some more holes. So we got basically the 4 more in this opening to do here. Once we countersink these 4, I can put this together. Once I put this together, I can clear a space under the layout to put it in the layout. After we clear the space to put it under the layout, then I can vacuum up this mess that I've made all over the place. Then I can hopefully get back to cleaning up the rest of this stuff. And what time is it? Oh, great. I have 15 minutes. John, hitting the wrong thing. John wants to know if I'm building another shelf. Sparky's trying to figure out whether I'm under the layout. Unfortunately, we're not building another shelf. We're still building the same shelf because yours truly has basically, I've kind of built myself into a corner that I just can't seem to get out of. And the only way I'm going to get out of it is if I just do this. But John, since you're here, you may appreciate this. Here's a Proto Throttle blue on blue. I just like the color combination. I just think it looks pretty nice. So I got that working. But yeah, let's get to it. We got 4 more. Oh, we're gonna again safety second. So we'll put this on. We'll keep it out of my eyes so I can see, but you know, I'm wearing it for safety, protection, whatever you want to call it. Which way? I don't remember which is the fast way or the slow way, but either way, it's kind of thing. Yeah, I really like the blue as well. That blue is the custom faceplate color for Displanes Hobbies. So I got it from them. I would have liked one of the red ones from Spring Creek. That would have been nice. They were out of stock when I was looking. And then when I found that that black cover, yeah, that's exactly what it is. I don't want to get any of this stuff in my hair. Yeah, Dennis, I hope when you come here it does not look like this. I really, really hope it doesn't still look like this. That said, don't, you know, keep your expectations low. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, battery died. What do we do when the battery died? Reach around here, we grab another battery. See? You know. Yeah, yeah, they just put out Iowa Scaled Engineering just got a new batch together. They got red ones for Spring Creek as well as some other ones. They just, you know, like a lot of people had a restocking issue. So it took a little while, but yes, they now have them more in stock. Yeah, and that's, you know, we were talking about tools earlier. It's like I actually have 4 of these Ryobi batteries, and they just charge right behind me there. And that's another reason why, you know, I've been very happy with the Ryobi system. Oh, and I can actually share this too. I forgot I still have this in here too. I've had Ryobi tools since the blue era. So I've got blue Ryobi tools. Was my original set. So I've been with them for a while as well. And I actually did get, speaking of batteries too, I did just get some more AA's. So I used to have an 8 bank of charging on the wall. I now have 2 sets of 8 on the wall. Because I find I'm not always good at, you know, remembering to charge as well. Yeah, I do know depending on stock levels, sometimes they will have, you know, just different color plates only. And I think sometimes sometimes you have to buy the whole thing, but they used to, when they're stock, I think they do. All right. Gonna crank up the clutch. The clutch on this works really well too. All right, so 2 more to go. 2 more. Okay, we can do it. Yes. Whew. All right, let's keep going. 2 more. 2 more. 2 more. 2 more. Waterloo Why would you go to Waterloo? When I fly into Toronto, I like flying into Porter because I like flying onto a little tiny island on a medium-sized plane. Wrong scale, Cameron. No ho-ho-hos over here on this part. Man, at this point, I just want to chew these darn bits up and get through this and be done. Throw these bits in the trash and move on. Waterloo Airport is 20 minutes from you. Oh. Is Waterloo the name of that big airport in Toronto? Like, if you don't fly Porter and fly into the little island, is the other airport called Waterloo? I don't know the names of the airports over there. Yes, one more. So the bad part of this is when I finish putting this thing together, I'm nowhere near done. I still got to clean all this up. I got a bunch of stuff out in the hallway that I had to push out into the hallway. Plus, you know, getting this put together, it's not, man, are the projects ever done? I love having this little space. This little space is fantastic to have, but when attempting to do a project of this size, it really puts a wrench in things. That's for sure. Like, this project should be done in a different room. $9:52. Are people giving me a countdown? So if you don't know, the main reason I have to stop at 10 is that I got to go walk the dog. The dog's walk time is 10. So that's the that's what really dictates the stop. And on days that I stream, by the time I get everything cleaned up and put away and slid out of the way and all that stuff, I'm generally a little bit late anyway. Boy, I'm this is tiring. So the reason I don't start earlier is at one point there was the whole, you know, Wednesday night crew at 8 o'clock. Also there's the 7 o'clock crew, and I know on the, you know, on the weeks that John from TSG Multimedia streams, which is the third week, he tends to go for 2 hours. On the days that Mini Prince streams, which is the first Wednesday, I could start a little bit earlier, but you know, if you start early one day and start late the other day, it just sort of confuses people. It would kind of be like if I had a podcast and I just randomly decided that I was going to start posting the podcast on Thursday instead of on the regular day. So, you know, it's kind of like, you know, you don't want to throw people off too much. Confuse people too much. Red is only available through SEMT, and it's the entire proto throttle. Yeah, I know. Sometimes they sell them separately, sometimes they don't. You know, you could always, if you really want the red, buy the red from Spring Creek, and after you buy the proto throttle from Spring Creek, buy a different faceplate that you can buy the color of, and then sell the entire proto throttle, and then just keep the red plate. I know, Ray, I was just giving you a hard time. If you guys don't know, and Ray, tell if I'm misspeaking, let me know. But Around the Layout podcast now comes out on Thursdays, so be sure to check your favorite podcasting source or whatever it's called. And I just put that in completely the wrong spot because I was trying to rush it. On Thursdays for your Around the Layout. I just totally screwed up that. That was about the most terrible pitch for Around the Layout as I could do, because I was trying to do it and concentrate at the same time, and I completely screwed up both things. That's why I'm not a pitch man. And yeah, I changed my live. Ironically, I changed my live stream night so that I could go do something on Tuesdays, and I have yet to go do the thing on Tuesdays that I changed my live stream night to go do. So, yeah, I'm just about as hypocritical. Hypocritical? Is that the right word? Hypocritical. That doesn't sound like the right word. Hypocritical. Is that it? I feel like I'm saying it wrong or something. Like I'm pronouncing it wrong or something, but I think that's the right word. I'm just confusing myself. It is. David says it is a word, so that's good. At least I know that I'm using a word. Don says I'm responsible for sending a weekly email, and I struggle to do that at the same time. Yeah. I used to send out a weekly email. I would send it out right before my live stream, kind of as a, don't forget I'm live streaming tonight. And I want to send it out. I like sending it out. I thought it was a good way to remind people about the stream and talk about stuff that's going on. It's a lot of work when you have a day job, as I know Ray does, and a lot of us do, because we do model railroading for the love, not for the money. It's hard. And I'll say too, I know people that have small model railroad companies that send stuff out, and it's hard for them as well. Yep. So Lauren, who's my father, for those of you who don't know, is doing his 10 o'clock dog walk, which I am going to need to do very shortly. I would like to try and get this all back together, because at least if I get it together, then I can move it around in a single piece. You guys might notice, if you look closely at these, there is some open spots on the bottom. I don't know if I'm going to get more rails for the bottom, or if I am just going to put some other storage items down on the bottom. I don't actually have more of the Feldherr boxes. I've got about 12 of them. So I don't really need the space on the bottom. But, there's something about that, there's something about keeping everything even Steven, and doing, oh, man, don't get older. Gets harder to get up off the ground. All right, so I've already got all these holes pre-drilled, so I'm gonna try not to stick my butt in everyone's face. And we're gonna get these screws, and of course, I've misplaced one of them. There it is. So I think I've got all of them. So I've already got all these pre-drilled. The holes should already line up. Everything is as square as it's going to be for my level of woodworking abilities. So let's get this first one kind of lined up. After I do this, I think the next step is to put this out in the hallway and get out the vacuum and do a little bit of vacuuming, because I got people coming over in about 9 days. Oh, oops. Trying to slide it so you can see it, and I almost ended up breaking it. That would have been fantastic. Breaking it the second I get it back together. All right. So that's nice and tight. This one up here. Get that one. Let's unscrew this. Back in. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages. I don't know. That's probably, like, I just probably violated some sort of, what's that? What do they call that? Copyright or something for saying that. Probably have somebody come and take my YouTube channel away from me. So as you can see, these slide in nice and easy. Of course, this one's fighting me. I've got them numbered, so I know which one is which. That way I can document what is in each one. You'll notice I did kind of skip the top one. I did that for a reason. I think the top row is going to be a little too tall to be able to slide one in and out. So what I will likely do is build a flat top for this to put stuff in at the top. But that's the way it works. John thinks I need some weight at the bottom. The wood is significantly heavier than anything that's going in it, because it is just end scale items. So I'm going to throw this out in the hallway, break the vacuum out, and get to vacuuming, and then I'll bring everything back into the room, and once again kind of bury myself in here until next week's stream, where I'll try and unbury myself again, because that seems to be the theme. If you go back in the history of this channel, you will see I have done so many streams and so many videos on trying to organize. And I guess that's kind of right. The battle of life is just taking it one piece at a time, organizing one thing, moving around, just, you know, keep going one thing at a time. From the city that never sleeps, farewell, model citizens.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.